unique flavor of Huntsville's craft beer scene at the Brewers Cooperative.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. Are those new school clothes wearing out that old washer and dryer? Well, it's time to get off the bus at Owen Home Appliance Center and learn what a new Speed Queen washer can do for you. They're in stock and are ready for delivery now at Owen Home Appliance Center. Quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's right there in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center. 2 locations to serve you, Highway 36 in Somerville and the interactive location at Highway 231 in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Well, this ought to be entertaining. A good Monday evening to you. We're walking up to Crimson Tide Rewind. They've got nothing to talk about on Crimson Tide Rewind as Alabama getting ready for South Carolina coming up. Wes Neighbors, good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
So it's been 40 years.
I was on the team.
I am fully aware.
Yes, yeah. I had one of my best games I ever played against some really good. They had some good defensive linemen then, and we fumbled the ball, and they made plays just like they did. Like it looked like Saturday's game. Vanderbilt's a good football team. We knew that going in, and you better be prepared. And the defense just didn't look like they were prepared, and the offense made just enough mistakes to lose the game.
I'm actually texting back and forth with Steve Shaw. He told me he's kind of busy. He said, "What do you got?" And okay, so The right before we got on the air, Wes wanted me to look at this no targeting call, and this was in the fourth quarter, 9:36.
It was the strip sack.
The strip sack
helmet to
on
helmet,
29 goes. They replayed it twice on the SEC copy that I'm looking at, and from what I see from the now the initial up high view, it looks like helmet to helmet. But down low, when they went to the end zone view,
head or neck
it
area,
goes,
it doesn't matter what you hit the
shoulder,
quarterback.
then head.
But it doesn't matter. Head or neck area in an unprotected player.
I thought it had to be helmet to helmet launch, helmet to helmet in order for target. That's what I thought.
Head and neck area. You could argue he launched as well, which I don't have a problem with. And I said this, but you're going to call and listen, I don't, we're starting out in the wrong area. I wanted to start out. I wanted to get to this later, but we were talking about before we came on.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about the play they called where the quarterback didn't even get knocked down. In fact, he kind of faked getting knocked back. He touched his head. He just rubbed it.
Yeah.
It looked like a pat on the head.
Yeah.
As he was jumping up, he came back down.
To be fair, I've seen that quite a bit.
You've seen it called and you've seen it not called. I've seen it both. And if you're going to call one, you got to call the other. That's all I'm saying. I'm not a targeting guy. I hate targeting. I believe you need to protect the receivers and the quarterbacks because of the game more than anyway. Receivers because they actually can get hurt. And I thought the targeting call they did call in reverse. I thought that was the right call. Both of those guys hit with their shoulders.
Yeah,
they weren't trying to hurt him. They didn't launch. He got hurt, unfortunately. But I agree with that. I didn't think that was the other one was a targeting call as well. They didn't call targeting, they called roughing the passer. Well, this should have been at least roughing the passer. You can't argue that it wasn't. He was hit him in the head or shoulder area as a protected player.
He was in the pocket. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He was in the pocket.
You hit him in the neck or head
but
area.
He was holding the ball.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you.
No. If he's holding the ball, you're allowed to tackle him.
Oh, of course, yeah. But you're not allowed to hit him in the head or neck area. You're not with your shoulder or your helmet.
Well, no, the shoulder did not go for the head or neck. The shoulder went shoulder to shoulder.
Well, then
it was the helmet that went into the ear hole.
Then
it's
targeted. That's targeted.
I really thought that it had to be first contact, not shoulder then head.
No, you hit in the shoulder and neck area with anything.
Steve has yet to reply, but anyway, I know
you go look at it and make your own decision. But this is,
congratulations to Vanderbilt.
No question. They have a good football team.
Yes,
we knew that going in.
And they cleaned up their penalties. They cleaned up
didn't
their
have
turnovers.
any turnovers.
Yes.
And
that was their big problem against Georgia
Diego
State.
played unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness.
He had the best game. On 4th and 1, they throw.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was a game of inches.
Me personally, as well as they ran the football, I thought here comes a run over the left guard.
Yeah.
But if I am a Bama fan, that's what bothers me the most is when the whole world knew that you were going to run the football. Vanderbilt was able to get chunks of yards. That's what would bother me if I'm a Bama fan.
Well, I know this from game to game when you have young guys. And if you remembered after the first scrimmage, I said this team will lose 2 to 3 games, but I thought they'd make the playoffs. I still believe that.
Yeah.
Because one thing, they have the best victory of any team in the country so far against Georgia. Now you're going to have the haters come out and you have these people that have been talking so much noise to their friends and they get embarrassed. And it was an embarrassing loss. I don't think to a bad football team. I think to a good team that beat Virginia Tech, who should have beat Miami last week. Same team. They took Missouri at Missouri to the last play.
Double overtime.
This is a team that should have been more respected by Alabama. They were not prepared defensively. They have a lot of young guys. I told you earlier that the young guys lose games.
They do.
You have freshmen out there, and they're trying to, you look at one play, there'd be 3 people at the pitch, nobody for the quarterback. Next time there'd be nobody on the pitch. It's the same thing. Vanderbilt showing all kind of different looks. You didn't see the look same times, so it's hard for you to adjust to see what your keys are. You have to look for keys that when you know it's run or pass, and play those keys. I don't think they did any of that, and it's because there's a bunch of young guys out there running around. I thought the linebackers played awful. They weren't very disciplined. They were running around like the chicken with their head cut off, overrunning plays. And Vanderbilt made plays. So it's one of those things. Does this team let it carry over to this week? That's what we're going to find out. Because this offense is special. If they can get stops, there's not many people that are going to be able to stop this offense. Only the offense can stop itself. And I'm worried about injuries. You looked, I know the Swamp Monster wasn't in there in the fourth quarter. I don't know what his status is. Yeah, Jaheim Otis, I think, got in the portal today.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but he hasn't practiced since last year before
the way that and I did not mean to interrupt you on that, but just the way that Kalen DeBoer spoke about Jaheim, I don't think the door is completely shut.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's a bunch of hurt feelings. That's what happens when you lose, but you have to practice. So Jaheim Otis has not practiced little to none since last year.
Please tell me you saw on Twitter Lane Kiffin reacting to Alabama losing.
No, I did not.
This was during his press conference. Ole Miss just went right through South Carolina.
I watched that game, of course.
And here is Lane Kiffin.
The health of your team right now. How many timeouts does Alabama have? One left.
They had all three of you.
They have one left. 118.
Yeah, we had 2 more left. They'd have scored.
Sorry, I didn't. I mean, this is like a once in a lifetime thing going on. Better watch. You're not going to see it probably ever again.
It's hard to argue with what he's done up there, and we kind of I didn't think they were as good as I watched. To me, they played amazing football. I mean, the quarterback was. He found that did he make a bad throw? No. I mean, that touchdown pass was.
I'd have to go.
I mean, unbelievable. I mean,
if anything, even the 4th and 1 was a tad behind the wide receiver, but not much.
Yeah, I mean, but you look at you're 3rd and 8. You throw a 4-yard pass. You got to get the guy on the ground. Alabama's tackling was pathetic. It was the young guys. The young guys were up there, and they weren't ready to play. And it's no arguing that.
No.
You go back and look at the different things are happening, and it was like we were chasing. And then we would almost make a play. Like, the quarterback on that long throw threw it early and threw it high because he got hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You look at the whoopie pass.
Mm-hmm.
How did he miss that ball? How did he get it by? There was a guy right there. I mean, there were just so many plays they made and that Alabama didn't. But it's not a game. This was not a fluke game.
No.
This was a game that Alabama gets the ball back, they're going to win. But their defense has they have to tighten up.
So would you have gone onside kick?
Well, I would now. I'd be stupid not to say, but I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Me, if you're onside kick.
But I mean, all you're really asking your defense is just give me one stop.
One stop.
Just give me one stop.
They didn't take them 3 or 4 plays. It took them 2 to get a first down. And there you go again.
Yeah.
So it was to say I was frustrated for a lot of reasons. One, how do you get to the same number on 4th on a punt on the drive that I think that was the drive that put Vanderbilt started believing they're going to win, have a chance to win, was the drive where they punt on 4th down. We have 2 number 2s in the game. How do you do that? The same drive, 3rd down, we rough, quote unquote, the quarterback. It worked. It looked more like a hug. It was pathetic. They called it. You do not call that. We've seen it called one time other, and that was at Texas A&M 3 years ago when they beat us over there in Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
They beat us on the same type call. It was horrible then. It's horrible now. You don't call touch fouls. I mean, it's a joke, especially when your quarterback gets ear hold and they don't call anything. And you can say it's with his shoulder or his helmet. It doesn't matter. You hit him in the head or neck area, it's supposed to be a penalty. That's why they called that penalty. It's because he barely hit him in the head, not forcible contact.
Because that was the first contact. If you go back, that was.
But it was his hand.
I know.
And that's
I don't like that either.
But that's what I'm telling you. That's the rule. The rule is you cannot hit him in the head.
Well,
with anything.
What I'm telling you from what I've read and what I've talked with, it's got to be that first contact, not the second contact.
If you hit him in the head or shoulder area, it is a penalty. Period.
That's why I'm trying to get confirmation because
he's not going to come back because he knows that it happened, so he won't answer. If he answers, you know that he really believes it. He's not going to answer. So anyway, you look at the.
I think more troubling is how about a 17-play drive?
Yeah, well, that's the drive I'm talking about
of 75 yards that took 9 minutes and 50 seconds.
That's because there's 45 yards in penalties. That's on that drive. There are 45.
That's the second
yards
drive of the game.
Yes, and it was the drive that absolutely killed them. But they allowed Georgia to do the same thing. For 6 quarters, the defense has looked horrible. And you go back to all these people who talk about Pete Golden. I take Pete Golden back tomorrow. There you go. How many touchdowns did he have scored on them Saturday? Let me tell you.
As many as we scored on Saturday. 0. I mean, you individually and me individually.
Oh, yeah. Well, I never scored a touchdown in college. I came close once.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was very close.
Right after the Georgia-Auburn game, Kirby pulling a little Nick Saban.
Oh, getting on the fans.
Getting on the fans. He doubled down today, did Kirby. And he was asked 3 different times.
Well, they were getting on him last week, so it's fair. Right? Now everything's good. Alabama just needs to beat South Carolina is what they need to do. That's what they need to be worried about. Because they're going to come in here and run the option. I guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I don't think they can run it as good. I don't think we'll play a better quarterback than we played the last 2. Now, the LSU quarterback is pretty good. But he turns it over. 1 turnover, Vanderbilt loses that game. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They played perfect.
They did.
You got to give your hats off to them. I mean, they deserve to win the game. They'd have scored again if we'd had 2 more timeouts.
Tighter margins is one reason that this is a week-to-week league in the Southeastern Conference.
Well,
the margins are tighter. I don't think it has anything to do with the road or home. It's just the margins are tighter. Everybody's got, the ability to go get people's backups. And, it's just look at the scores in the league. It's tighter than it's ever been. It's a really competitive league. We made it better by bringing more people in. And it really boils down to who can play the long game. And it's not about – it's hard to play on the road, yes. But it's not about that as much as it is these teams are closer than most people realize.
There's no question. He's absolutely right. Look what Texas A&M's done. Texas A&M's sitting in the catbird seat right now.
They're 3-0 in SEC play.
Yeah, I mean, and who they beat? Florida, Mississippi State, and Missouri, which is a good blew them out.
Pounded Missouri.
There's a big call earlier in that game. It was a bad call though.
Yeah.
It was obviously pass interference, and they didn't call it. It might have changed the game. But hats off to Texas A&M. If this is going to be interesting.
Well, and I realize the big story comes out of Nashville, but at least sidebar wise is the 4th and 1 play that the Auburn Tigers ran against Georgia, and how the cameras went zooming in, and Hugh Freeze just lit right into his quarterback after that 4th and 1 play. And yet you could see the frustration in a big, big way.
Well, they're 2-7 the last 9 games. It's just not good. I mean, I thought they played hard for 3 quarters, but you start looking around and you just hope he doesn't lose the team. It's hard. I mean, and it's going to be interesting how, last week all the freshmen got all the accolades and
two number twos. Yeah.
And
we're still talking about two number twos.
Yeah. Well, he made it, he had a huge error in the game on third down. Didn't put the ball away and then throws it out of bounds, basically. That they reviewed for a long time, but I agree with the call. It was incomplete pass. And
Brett McMurphy tweeted this out yesterday. Sonny Dykes, Hugh Freeze, Billy Napier, Sam Pittman, and Lincoln Riley are all 5 and 7 in their last 12 games. It's
just, yeah. But, they're one quarterback away from being good. They all are. Hugh Freeze has to have the right quarterback. I like the quarterback they have. At times, he plays really well. Yeah. I think he's taken a lot of heat. For example, I was talking to one of my Auburn buddies, and he says, "I can't believe he threw that interception against Oklahoma for the touchdown."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, who's he going to hand it off to? They were in empty." He was trying to say he changed the play. So he might have checked to the play he was supposed to, because Oklahoma knew it was coming. They knew exactly what he was checking to.
Yeah.
But they were in empty. He didn't have anybody to hand the ball off. So, there's so much that goes into these games and how you end up with number. I'd like to hear the explanation. Nobody asked, how do you end up with two number twos?
It was asked post game.
Was he?
Yeah. And he just kind of owned it. He did what a
lot of people aren't doing nowadays.
Just owning it. Yeah. But he was asked about it. Let's see if I can bring it up, because
and that play could have got him beat. You look at the one or two plays in this game that make a difference. You have to get a stop.
Yeah, as a team, we win as a team with the team. That's all of us, and we have communication and ways of making sure we're all on the same page, and just, what we called requiring certain guys to be on the field didn't get circulated around to everyone. I mean, we're well aware of that situation, and just got to do a better job. It's, like I said, we win as a team and we lose a team, and those are the things that really hurt you, because I think they kept the drive alive and then ended up scoring a touchdown. And, it was just that hump that we couldn't quite get over through a lot of the game. And that one is an early one.
Yeah, it was that one. Got a face mask on third down that were getting off the field, and then got a roughing the passer that were getting off the field. And stops in that game were at a premium. I mean, you stop them and you got a chance to win the game. They weren't stopping us except for the sack fumble, the interception, which was late throw by, but it's still, guy made a good play from them, knocked it in the air. How many times does that go in there? Yeah. They didn't. I thought the offense didn't play perfect, obviously with the 2 turnovers, but they played well enough to win the game. The defense did not. The special teams did not. You cannot. There's no excuse. There's no excuse in the world to have 2 number twos on the field. One of those guys is going to have to change their number if they're going to play a lot, because it's going to happen again in the heat of the moment. You cannot have the 2 guys that are playing a lot with the same number on special teams. You just can't. So there you go. It was number 2's that good of a punt returner at this time for him to be out there anyway. He needs to be catching the ball, because every time he catches it, it's a chance for a touchdown. And he made an unbelievable play. And so, I got all kind of emails this week.
I bet.
And after the game, and I was like,
anything pertaining to Malachi?
Yeah. So
how did you feel about that?
Oh, who would like that? I mean, would he ever have played again when Coach Bryant was there? Probably not. But Coach Bryant used to kick them off for if they dropped a touchdown pass in practice. They never played
Well,
again.
Coach DeBoer announced that he is not suspended.
No, I wouldn't suspend him either. I mean, you can at this day and time. So part of me, he acted like I would have wanted it to act. But my mother and father taught me better to act that way. And he wasn't mad at the other team.
Yeah.
He was mad at his own players.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was mad at the guys because he knew they weren't doing their job. And did he handle it well? No. Do I think he should be suspended? Coach DeBoer knows better and more than I do. He's won a lot more games than I have, and he's gotten these kids to a certain level. I'm sure that he'll learn from the experience of not doing that ever again. Hopefully he won't have to. Because I don't believe if he thought they had played hard and lost the game, that he would have done that. He was very frustrated, and I get it. He might have been the one that said, "Hey, coach, we're going to stop him, so don't onside kick." I don't know. You don't know what the circumstances are to that, but no, I didn't like it at all. I mean, at that point, I really wasn't watching that much, Steve, either. I mean, I didn't even see him kick it. I knew the game was over, and I was.
I understand that.
Yeah. So
256-576-4977, the telephone number if you'd like to be part of the program.
I'd like to say Anna Lakin did think that they should have onside kick. My daughter.
And you know what?
Did you think they should onside? In my mind,
I went there in my head just because of how easily Vanderbilt was
moving the ball.
the ball. But then I thought in my head, well, we're really just talking about one stop. But I mean, at that point, I mean,
they threw the ball on second down. That was,
thank you. Yeah, when they threw it, I was just like, wow, they think they can do anything.
Well, they did. Yeah, they did. Because they can trust their quarterback.
Yeah.
He has played a lot of football.
Yes, he has.
He went into Auburn last year, and after they beat Arkansas, totally dismantled Auburn. He dismantled Alabama's
16
defense.
of 20, 252, 2 touchdowns, no picks.
No picks.
Also ran the ball 20 times for 56 yards. My knee jerk was I didn't think Milroe ran the ball enough. That
he didn't have time.
But I realized that. But he's very dynamic.
He scored 35 points in how many minutes?
17:52.
There you go. How do you do that?
I
mean, that's that
impressed. Their longest drive, Bama's longest drive was their second drive, which was 7 plays, 75 yards, 3:41 off the clock.
Yeah,
that was their longest drive of the game.
The only way Alabama, in my opinion, can get beat is outscored, and Alabama doesn't have the ball last.
There were 3. Excuse me, how many 3 and outs?
It's going to take it. Yeah,
there's
one by Alabama.
3 and outs, and it was 3 plays for 4 yards, 3 plays for -3 yards. 3 plays for -1 yard.
Yeah, the one was one of them was Williams. Hollywood dropped the ball, threw it out of bounds.
Yeah.
I mean, tried to tuck it and make a move and threw it out of bounds, which told me right then that he wasn't quite ready to play either. He turned it up now, and that catch he made, how he didn't go out of bounds, I don't know. It's the dangest thing.
Yeah.
He has a center of gravity like nothing I've ever seen, and then landed and looked like somebody shot him out of a cannon.
One SEC coach needs to thank another SEC coach in a big, big way. I'll tell you exactly who needs to thank who on the other side. It is a Monday edition of The Drive right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
It's official. 47 years in a row, Ford F-150 is the best-selling truck in America. Come drive one and you'll see why. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to kickstart the new year in a brand new F-150. Choose from nearly 200 F-150s, and we think you'll find just the right one. Right now, we have financing as low as 2.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150s, and lease payments as low as $389 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $62.82 due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. This offer ends January 31st. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have nearly 50 2023 Explorers for you to choose from, too, with financing as low as 0.9% for up to 60 months. Plus, check out our over 40 24 Bronco Sports and a fresh truckload of the full-size Broncos that have just hit the ground. Come on over and let's get the new year rolling. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
It all comes back to money.
Visit our store right now at zonedeals.bigdealsmedia.net to take advantage of all the best deals in the Tennessee Valley. Or just go to our website, 977espn.com, and click on the Zone Deals logo to start saving right now.
Now, as to the price.
These deals won't last long, so get yours now. Zone Deals. You'll thank us later.
A man who could easily afford to buy a vowel.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel and McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
It is a Monday edition of The Drive. Along with Wes Neighbors, Steve Moulton back here with you, 256-576-4977, the telephone number. The one coach that needs to at least maybe give a thank you basket to another SEC coach, that would be Sam Pittman giving a thank you basket to Brent Venables, as that there was a lot of similarities on what at least I saw defensively out of Arkansas from what I saw out of Oklahoma
and what I
defensively.
So that's the the people watching film, they're trying to figure it out.
Yep.
And it doesn't take much.
Congrats to the Hogs.
Yes.
Did you watch the end of that game? And what did you think about Tennessee letting Arkansas score so they could get the ball back?
That was obviously a mistake.
It was.
I don't believe in that. I know that people do it. But, yeah, I didn't watch the end of the game. I have not seen the end of that game.
19-14 was that final score as they another storm. Anyway, the SEC office doled out some fines for both Vanderbilt and Arkansas today about storming the field after their victories over the weekend. But I did not get to.
So what's the fine now? Isn't it 100,000 for the first time?
Yeah, I think Arkansas was their first offense, and for no, wait a second, I got that flipped. For Arkansas was their second offense. So because they stormed the field after the Texas game a couple of years ago,
so they owe 250, right?
250.
So does it go to the other team? They were going to do that, but I don't know if they ever did that.
I don't know if
I'm trying to figure out what player we're going to get for 100,000 for Vandy for the Vandy loss. That's what I'm trying to figure.
Jaheim, you want to stick around?
Yeah, I don't believe they're going to pay Jaheim unless he starts practicing. So, yeah,
This is what Kalen DeBoer had to say on Jaheim Otis earlier today.
Yeah, Jaheim, I mean, felt like it was going that way. I think the thing you also have to understand is there's other elements to this, right? There's health elements, there's life elements, and so I mean, I was, I love these guys. They work hard, and Jaheim's choices and things. So there's reasons for that, right? And so, he notified, has notified and continued to be in communication here with us, and kind of felt like it was maybe going that direction, not just today or yesterday or just here in the last few days. So, we move forward with the guys that really are able to help us win and focused on our program. And, as we go through this, and I don't want to put finality to it, but, always going to want what's best for all people. And Jaheim's one of them.
Yeah. Doesn't sound good to me.
No, it doesn't.
I think if he wanted to come back, they accept him. But, you can't just show up and play in the games. That's not the way it works. You got to practice, and he's been injured and hadn't practiced a bunch since the bowl game, since the national championship semifinal. So, yeah, and just think the whole defense is different. So I don't know if he's ready to play, to be honest with you. Obviously, the coaches don't think he is.
Yeah.
So,
is the problem Womack?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I would. The position coach is in charge of him. So if he's not playing, they'd be playing him if they thought he could do what they needed to do to win.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that, especially today. Now's not the time to decide to leave, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think he played a snap though during the game, and I imagine he's frustrated. They're frustrated, and what I was told is that they screwed up on every option. Like one time, I had a friend of mine look at the tape. He said on one play the quarterback kept it, and they had three guys going for the pitch. The linebackers I hear graded horribly.
Yeah.
One especially bad. I'm not going to say his name because he had a bad game. I mean, it was obvious that they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. And but that falls back on the coaches. They got to get the players ready to play.
But
I go back to what I said too.
Lawson, to me.
Well, I'm not going to say who it was, but I don't think he had a very good game as well. But all the linebackers did not play very well. They weren't doing what they were supposed to do. It wasn't like they were physical. They were all out there running around. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know, hey, on this play I have the quarterback. On this play I have the pitch. On this play I have the dive. On this play I get the back out of the backfield. They were not prepared, and that goes to coaching. But that all being said, if you don't have freshmen ready to play, it's hard to adjust with them. And that's what I think you saw is you have, 16, Red Morgan. We'll say, big play in the game, third down, got to get a stop. They throw a 4-yard pass. It's 3rd and 8. You got to get the guy on the ground. All you got to do is grab his leg and wait. And he tries something. What's he doing? I mean, you watch what he's doing is unlike any technique I've ever seen. Just grab him, lock him up, and hold on. There, you got help coming.
Yeah.
You got to do that. You got to make plays. They did not make plays that you have to make to win championships. And this was a SEC school, an away team. Yeah, you had more fans than them. And it's not a tough place to play, but you still got to make the plays, and they didn't. And hats off to Vanderbilt again. I don't want to – they got to tear down the goalpost. Vandy beat Kirby Smart his first year.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's not like this is the
season's
end
not over, by the way.
No, not even close. I think
this is an expanded playoff.
With Alabama beating Georgia, they have the best win in the country.
But I will say, with Vanderbilt losing to Georgia State,
that hurts her conference.
That does not help
No, yeah,
by any means.
But that's not. But the Georgia victory, if Georgia keeps winning, is going to keep that. They're out. The nation wants to see Alabama and Georgia play again. They do. It's one of the most highly rated games. It is the highest rated game this year.
Yeah, I think it topped out at nearly 14 million.
But Alabama has to get more consistent. There is no question about that.
So
if they're going to get there.
If you're a longtime listener, you know that I listen to way too many press conferences and try to play for you the most interesting parts to me that I'm thinking might have a little substance to it. Well, Lane Kiffin usually is short and sweet and to the point. So that was not the case when the redshirt rule was brought up. And, of course, it's the 4-game deal that it was a big story a couple of weeks ago because we got to that week 4 deal where figure out how many games these players are going to play. Lane went on a little bit of a rant on the redshirt rule today.
Yeah, that's really challenging nowadays with the different landscape. I know a lot of coaches, there's a lot of frustration with that. And I think a number of coaches even making a push for, it's just 5 years total. So you can get out of this, a player's playing and then, they just decide, not to play after 4 games in the season. So there's no perfect answer. At the end of the day, it's their choice. So you just got to work around it. It's just kind of, I think, falls into that category of just the way it's been done for a while now that should be revisited and say, okay, does this really make a lot of sense?
Lane, I know we asked you about it.
And I think on that too, why I say does it make a lot of sense? I'm not just saying from our side as coaches, from a player side, that's hard on them too, because do I keep playing or do I get another year, especially when now you get paid, for another year of playing here or somewhere else, and so then I can not play, save myself a year of salary, a lot of times somewhere else in situations. So I think it really puts both sides in a tough situation. Sorry.
We asked you about it before.
So that is Lane Kiffin from earlier today on the redshirt rule. And
yeah, I mean, there are a lot of rules I don't like right now. One way you could change that is to keep people from transferring in the middle of the season is make it where, you can only redshirt. The only rule only counts if you play the next year at the same school. I mean, but there's a lot of rules that need to be changed, in my opinion. And I think you're going to see this coming. But one thing we haven't talked about, the judge today preliminarily approved the settlement, the $2.37 billion settlement for the NCAA. So to me, the only thing that's going to save college football is going to have to be Congress.
Oh, I see that.
Because that's just the beginning. That's not going to do anything. That's just one. They're going to settle, and they're acting like this is, but there's so many more lawsuits now than there's one that almost daily now.
Judge Wilkins ordered also establish a schedule for the remaining steps to finalize the deal. This is from Dan Murphy from ESPN.com, who we've had on plenty over the last years. Any athletes impacted by the settlement will have until January 31st of 2025 to file objections or opt out. A final hearing to approve the deal is scheduled for April 7th, 2025, coincidentally the same day as the men's basketball championship game. Boy, that's intriguing. Leon has called in. How are you, Leon?
Hey, I'm fine. How about you?
Doing well.
Hey, look at Wes, what you was talking about a while ago on the tackling. I'm an Auburn fan, and it just hurts my heart to see guys diving at the runner, misses him, and then looking up and watching go down the field. That kills me.
Yeah.
That just bothers me.
But they don't know how to tackle because they don't work on it in practice. To be honest with you, none of the teams do.
Well, I think I asked you this once before. Do they even practice tackling now?
Well, they only have so many days in pads per year now. They don't have 2-a-days. They don't work on which I'm not for overworking them. I think there's a fine line, but that's why I think you're seeing certain teams get better now and other ones falling back is because of their practice habits and what they're doing in practice. It's because in camp in the NFL, look how bad they are. They're hard to watch the first 4 weeks, and now you're starting to see them start playing. It's the same in college football. It's to me, it's you. I look and I'm like, what are they doing? I saw Alabama try to block them down and do a lot of different stuff, and I think part of it too, Leon, is that they're scared they're going to get a target penalty if they come in with their head, because you don't, and that's the other thing. I think that the targeting on people that aren't protected should go away. It's impossible if you're running down the field and a guy weighs 240 pounds that you're going to be able to love him down. You can't. You got to hit him, and the only way to do it is to lead with your head. There's no way else to do it. And you can, you don't want to. You want to hit with your shoulder and your head, lock your arms, and twist them down. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And a guy weighs 240, and he's a quarterback. He's run like I'm talking about the South Alabama they called targeting, and you put your head. He was trying to get it across, and the guy cut right into it. What are you going to do? You can tell. You can tell when they're trying to hurt somebody, right?
Yeah.
And like that, the call I'm talking about in the Alabama game, Vanderbilt, what I thought was targeting. I didn't think he was trying to hurt him, right? I wouldn't have called that, and I wouldn't have definitely called the other one. To me, it should be common sense stuff, and the fact that it's not, and you see these things deciding football games. There are too many penalties in the games already, and it's harder on the refs because they got all this rule book that keeps growing.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens so fast. It's hard to think, but these kids work so hard. I just get tired of watching the refs to decide the games, and to be fair, I don't think the refs are doing the best they can. I believe that.
Well, I do too, but I said the same thing you said a while ago. That diving and going on. I told my wife it's just an excuse in case they missed the man. That's an excuse for missing him because he reached at him, missed him, so now he's gone.
Yeah, I know this. Coach Bryant would play your third string guy, the guy to try to tackle, and if you missed a lot of tackles, he wasn't putting up with it, and they'll get you beat, right? You miss enough of them, they'll get you beat.
Yeah. All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate the phone call. 256-576-4977, the telephone number. Josh Heupel spoke to the media today. By the way, the Vols are now getting ready for Florida this week. And at least looking at the film, Coach Heupel believes that Nico played well.
Nico played really well a week ago. Clean in his decision-making, decisive, accurate with the football. This past week, first play of the ball game, rips a nice ball. Some of all parts as the game went on, we didn't play as clean. Some of that's Nico. Some of that's the guys around him. Quarterback position takes 10 of the guys around you playing at a high level too. So some of all parts, all 11 operating, doing, I'm going to say, ordinary things at a really high level consistently, was the difference in the ballgame the other night.
There's just I'm holding an inch. And Coach Bryant used to do the same thing, hold his hand up and says, this much between winning and losing. There is. It's not very far. And that was more evident Saturday with the way Tennessee played, the way Alabama played, and the way they've been playing. It doesn't take much. And then you have a couple breaks go the other way against you. That's how you get beat. By neither team Tennessee nor Alabama got beat by a bad football team.
No.
And, there's a saying for one of the coaches here in Alabama that they should have won all 5. Well, they could, but that can be said. But I'm telling you, if we played Vanderbilt again and we showed up, they might beat us. If they played like they did Saturday, which I think was rare air. The off week, they were ready to play.
Yeah.
The right quarterback made all the throws. They can win again.
Let's go ahead and take our final timeout. We've got somebody on hold. We'll get to them right on the other side. It's a Monday edition of The Drive right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
It's an amazing time in our industry. Things are changing so rapidly. With digital signatures and workflow software, we help our customers work from anywhere. This helps you save time and money and upgrade your technology. Like I said, it's an amazing time to watch our customers grow and succeed.
Just ask anyone. A Lion's Secret.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes, at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing, but a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama, and we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, never let them see you sweat. And that's going to be to your benefit, too, when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
Sports Talk 24/7 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
After Crimson Tide Rewind, it'll be Monday Night Football. What do we got tonight for Monday Night Football? As I'm ashamed to say, I did not bring up the matchup tonight for Monday Night Football, and that is the Saints and the Chiefs. Let's go Chiefs! Let's go Chiefs! As right now, the South is being led by the Atlanta Falcons. And, of course, you heard that broadcast right here Thursday night, an overtime win over the Buccaneers, 36-30 was that final score. But that does lead me into a few notes from the National Football League, as Jaden Daniels is the third rookie quarterback since 1950 to start with 4 of his team's 5 games of the season. And
that's a great stat. Who are the others?
And joining Joe Ferguson from 1973
Buffalo Bills
with the Buffalo Bills and Dak Prescott in 2016 with the Dallas Cowboys. The reason I'm going here is because I can hear it in Brian Kelly's voice. He gets a Jaden Daniels question almost every press conference. Did you hear it? That's not me, by the way. That's Brian Kelly. Go ahead, Coach. Talk about your Heisman Trophy quarterback who's no longer with you.
Well, first of all, I think the fit, with Cliff Kingsbury is
Anyway, I really.
So Cliff Kingsbury is his offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
There you go. He's the greatest offensive coordinator. He wasn't a bad head coach either.
No, he wasn't. Who's on the line? Rick, the floor is yours.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Hey, if y'all already talked about this, I apologize, but I was thinking, Wes, if I'm not mistaken, you probably played in the last time.
There's no question. Yeah.
So at one time during the game Saturday, I don't know if you noticed or not, but the score was actually, I think in the third quarter at one point, 30-21 Vanderbilt, which I think was the actual final score of the 1984 game when Vanderbilt won.
I raced that a long time ago.
And it just crossed my mind at that moment that this is a bad omen.
Yeah, there's no question. It was a bad omen long before they got to 30-21, right?
Well, it was. But when I saw that, it just really felt like, okay, this is not good. But,
you know what's weird about that game that we got beat in years and years ago? Our offensive line all graded winners.
Really?
We played very well. It doesn't take, but
doubtful that grade was as good.
Oh, I think the offensive line played good Saturday.
Oh, yes, the offensive line.
Even on the sack fumble was first down. Watch the running back runs out on that play, and I'm not sure he wasn't supposed to chip the damn guy, but he kind of when they do that, you think you hesitate for a second by offensive lineman, even though I don't know if you remember Vanderbilt was very good that year in '84. They had one of a really good defense, but the next year or 2 years down, they got in trouble for using steroids. And all of them got, and it was a big thing if you Google it.
Wow.
Yeah.
26 probably should have chipped this, but I mean.
Yeah. But no. You either chip them or you don't. I mean, you don't go there unless you chip them. You see what I'm saying? The way he released, it was a bad release by the. There's so many little things in football that you don't.
Pritchard has lost his balance.
Well, yeah, because he stopped because he thought he was getting chipped, and he didn't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like to me. The way his foot was, it's all footwork. But going back to that game, Vanderbilt, we knocked like on 5 or 6 plays. We had everybody on the ground. Everybody was blocked, and the running back got tackled by the safety 5 or 6 times, which is not supposed to happen. When you go through a big hole, you got to break 1 tackle. And our running back did not have a good game that game. And it was very frustrating when you watch the film and you're laying on top of your guy and he's on his back and they're running the ball and you get 7 yards, it should be a touchdown. So,
right.
But there's so many little things in football that you realize it doesn't take but one guy not doing his job on an offensive play to not make it a successful play.
Yeah. Well, I think the game Saturday, as bad as the defense was, if you take away those 2 turnovers, I think Alabama still wins the game.
Oh, there's no question. They're one possession.
They got 13 points off of those 2 turnovers.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there's no question that Vanderbilt. No question, Vanderbilt deserved to win the game. If we'd had 2 more timeouts, they'd have scored. And but it was no doubt they couldn't stop Alabama. The guy made a good play for the interception. Guy made a good play for the sack, although I thought it was targeting. or at least roughing the passer the way the rule reads. Nonetheless, they deserve to win the game, and my hat's off to them. And it's for Alabama, you go from the high of highs, beating a great team, being named number one team, to losing to a team that doesn't get a lot of respect in the SECs. I don't think they have the last 10 years, Arkansas, I think, still got a worse record than they do, but it's I think they're third. Now probably second to last now, because Tennessee was in there before they hired Heupel. I know 3 years ago, Tennessee had a worse record than Vanderbilt in the last 10 years. Was that it was something like that, right?
Yeah.
It was bad. Anyway, you're one coach or one recruiting class and one portal away from being really good. So, but everything has to happen right. And when you're playing as many freshmen, Alabama's playing on redshirt freshmen and freshmen on defense and transfers. This is, to me, they're either going to grow or fall apart. And we're going to see. Yeah. We're going to find out a lot about Alabama this week, just like we found a lot about Ole Miss last week.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. This team is from South Carolina is a good football team. They smoked Kentucky
on the road.
LSU, they missed a field goal to tie it, but they blew 2 or 3 plays that would have won the game. Or they don't lose to LSU. A bad defensive moment where they blocked the quarterback is a pick six. They had 2 pick six called back in that game. So this is a good team. We're going to find out a lot about Alabama and the rest of the year this Saturday. You don't take one bad game and turn it into 2. They got to grow, and they got to grow up this week.
Appreciate the phone call.
The defense does.
Crimson.
Offense got to keep doing what they're doing without the turnovers.
The latest SEC short that dropped this morning, it's more of a visual thing, but it's
go
really,
watch it.
It's well done. It's really well done. I just enjoy it, Vanderbilt fans. Please go enjoy it. So the most entertaining part of any press conference today was the beginning of Mark Stoops, who said, we get Vanderbilt this week. Yeah, we get Vanderbilt this week. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work, shower